Hello everyone and welcome to another super cool learning experience with Saoirse, who is super cool. Today we're going to be learning about solving equations with the variable on each side. That's lesson 2-4, starting on page 97. Hopefully I'll be able to help you do what you need to do in math, so let's get started. Okay, so to solve an equation that has variable on each side, use the addition or subtraction property of equality to write an equivalent equation with the variable terms on one side. Okay, so we look at this and we have 2 plus 5k equals 3k minus 6. And you're probably like, what? Well, don't worry, it's all going to be good. I'm going to help you, so let's go ahead and start. So when you're looking at this, you obviously can tell that there are two variables. There's 5k and 3k. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to get them on the same side. So in order for us to do that, we're going to have to do what we learned in previous lessons. We're going to take this 3k, and since it's a positive 3k, we're going to do the opposite, which means we'd subtract it from this side, and we're going to try and put it on the other side now, so we're going to subtract from this side. So now the equation is 2k plus 2 equals negative 6. But now there's only one variable, so it's all good. So now we get into the multi-step equation, where there are multiple things we have to do now. So we do the opposite, which is negative 2, negative 2. Now it becomes 2k equals negative 8. Okay, now we're going to divide because that was multiplication. Divide by 2, divide by 2. K now equals negative 4. Okay, you plug it back in. 2 plus 5 times 4, that'd be 22. And then 3 times negative 4, wait, no, sorry, I'm sorry. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. Negative 20 plus 2 is negative 18. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Negative 12 plus negative 6 is negative 18. So they check out. So this is all good. So 3w plus 2 equals 7w. So this isn't that challenging. So go ahead and try this one on your own. I know you can do it. So when you're ready to check your answer, unpause the video. Okay. So first thing we want to do is we want to get that variables on the same side. So since the 7w doesn't have any other numbers on its side, we're going to leave the 2 over there, because if we take the 7w and put it on one side, with the 3w plus 2, we won't have anything on the other side. Well, I mean, you could put the 0 there, but I don't like to do it that way. I'll show you both, though. So the first way you can do it is you can leave the 2 over there. So that means you would subtract 3w, subtract 3w. Now you have 4w equals 2. Divide by 4, divide by 4. W equals 1 over 2. Because you just bring the 2 down, what is it called? I guess bringing down to its smallest it could be. And the other way you can do it is you can take it to the other side, so you would subtract 7w from 3w, so then you would get negative 4w plus 2 equals 0. Subtract 2, then you'd have negative 4w equals negative 2. Divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4. W equals 1 over 2. Because since they were both negatives, it would go into a positive. But see, I find it a little bit easier not to do the 0 because sometimes it can be a little confusing. But those are two different ways that you can solve it, so hopefully you got the right answer. Alright, 5a plus 2 equals 6 minus 7a. Go ahead and do this one, and when you're ready to check, unpause the video. Okay, so I'm going to go on this side. So this would be add 7a, add 7a. So now it becomes 12a plus 2 equals 6. Subtract 2, 12a equals 4. Divide by 12, divide by 12. A equals 1 over 3. Because you just bring it down, so 4 to 4 equals 1. 4 goes into 12 3 times. Understand? That way. So that's your answer. Hopefully you got it right. Okay, so now we are on page 98, and this is solve an equation with grouping symbols. Okay, so this is going to involve a little bit of that stuff you've learned before, I'm sure. Distributive property, commutative, you know that thing. So we're going to be doing some distributive property. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this and this. So that means that we're going to be multiplying the 6 times the 5m and times the negative 3. So now you would get 30m, because 6 times 5 is 30, and then you bring the variable. And then 6 times negative 3 is now negative 18. And then on the other side, we would do the same thing. So 1/3 times 24 would be 24 over 3m plus 12 over 3. And then we can take it down again so we don't have those kind of weird numbers, and we would get 8m plus 4. Now, we do what we were doing before, so that means we would take and put it on one side. So subtract 8, subtract 8. Now this becomes 22m minus 18 equals 4. Now we're at the multi-step phase, and we're going to add 18, 22m is equal 22, divide by 22, divide by 22, and m now equals 1. So that's your answer. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on this side, but I want you to try it by yourself. And when you're ready to check your answer, go ahead and unpause the video. Here, 8s minus 10 equals 3 times 6, which is 18, minus 6 times s, which is 3 times 6. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing where we're going to have to get it all on one side. So we're going to add 6s, 14s minus 10 equals 18. Add 10, 14s equals 28. Divide by 14, divide by 14, s equals 2. Hopefully you got your answer. If you didn't, don't worry, you'll have another chance. So go ahead and look at this one, and when you're ready to check, pause the video. Alright, so do the same thing here. So now it becomes 7n minus 7 equals negative 6 plus negative 2n. We want to get all on one side, so we add 2, and now this becomes 9n minus 7 equals negative 6. We add 7, 9n equals 1. And then divide by 9, n equals 1 over 9. Alright, so this is example 3, find special solutions. And so that means that you're going to be finding ones that they don't really have an answer. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this one with you. So we have the distributive property right there, so we're going to go ahead and do it. So 5x plus 5 equals 15x minus 12 minus 10x. Okay, so we have two x's on one side, so we still have to get the other x on the other side. So we can group them together. So this would be 5x plus 5 equals 5x minus 12, because we grouped 15x and negative 10x. And so then we take, we'll just do it on this side. So we get subtract 5x, and now the x is gone. And so we have 5 equals negative 12. And that is not true. So we'd put a slash through that because that does not work down. So that was an example of a problem that has no solution. Okay, so let's go ahead and do another one. So we have distributive property. So this would be 6b minus 3 minus 7 equals 6b minus 10. 6b minus 10 equals 6b minus 10. Now those equal, but you're going to have to still keep going. So then you finally get down to where it's just 0 equals 0. Since the expression on each side of the equation are the same, this equation is an identity. It is true for all values of b. So, you see, it's called special solutions for a reason. Okay, so here's another one. Distributive property. So 7x plus 5x minus 5 equals 5, negative 5x plus 12x. So now this becomes 12x minus 5 equals negative 5 plus 12x, which is the same. So this would be 0 equals 0. So it works for all numbers. So that's basically the answer, all numbers. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully I was able to help you do what you need to do in math. This has been another super cool learning experience with Saoirse, who is super cool. Just want to let you guys know that you also are super cool. Hope you have a wonderful day.